Hello and welcome to Upfront. My name is Dean Thullner-Veljacic and we are filming on the unceded Nanaimo traditional territory. Well, it's March and we finally survived another Canadian winter. The days are getting longer, the mornings are getting brighter, and our backyards are filled with the sounds of birds. On this episode of Upfront, I have the pleasure of sitting down with Colin Bartlett from the Backyard Wild Bird and Nature Store to discuss all the great things about his community-based business. Hi, Colin. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Thanks for coming on the show today.
Thank you.
So you have been running a successful business in Nanaimo for the past 30 years. Tell the audience about your store.
Well, the Backyard Wild Bird Nature Store, it's about helping people enjoy nature in their own backyard. So we help provide products, information for people to attract, observe, learn, and enjoy what's happening nature-wise in their backyards.
Nice. So where is the store situated?
We're at the north end of Nanaimo on Metro Drive by Enterprise Way, so 6314 Metro Drive.
So for those that are watching that know Nanaimo, that's kind of adjacent across the street from the big superstore.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. It's just I like to landmark things so that people can put it. Yeah. It's a great store. I'm a big fan of your store. One of the things I love about your store is that it's filled with Canadian products.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're all watching the news, we're all watching what's happening down south, and we're really sort of banding together as a Canadian culture to purchase Canadian products and to support Canadian art. So what happens when I walk through the door and I go to your store? What should I expect?
Well, I mean, it's all about everything for the backyard. So the idea is we walk into the backyard. We have products there that you're going to see displayed as it was in your backyard. We have our bird feeders, bird baths, all the bits and pieces for your garden, yard art, wall art, all those things, so you can see it. And it's just the idea is to feel like you're in your own backyard picking out these things and seeing how they work.
Right. So what started this? How did you decide to get into a business that was like this?
Well, we moved here in '94 for my wife's work, and I decided I wanted to do something different. So sitting around all these different ideas, I thought I'd like to try myself at starting a business. Looking in the backyard, and well, out came this.
So starting a business, like that's quite a trajectory. Like I was talking to you earlier and expressing how my history was small business. I ran a business for 30 years. It's not easy running a small business, and a lot of people fear it or they don't feel that it will be successful. You've been at this for 30 years in the same location. Any secrets about running a great business with the people that are watching?
No, you just go.
Right.
If it comes up, you just go with it. It's you deal with what happens, and it's never been perfect. It's always been some ups and downs, and good times, bad times, but. Yeah, you just go with it and go.
Well, I've moved here in 2017 with my husband, and we have begun to know the businesses in Nanaimo. I told a lot of people that I was interviewing you today, and a lot of people have said, oh, that's a great business, the guy who runs it's great. So you actually have a great community reputation. And I think running a business and being successful is partly being attached to that community and listening to your community and understanding and giving back to the community. One of the things that came back to me on a regular basis is that quite often you're very generous and that you love to support charitable organizations like silent auctions or ways that people are looking to support our community, right? Yeah. So what makes that important for you? Like, how did you get into that?
Well, it's always been, I mean, way back when I used to volunteer as a kid, I started out, but it's always been something giving back. I mean, it's how things work. It's, you give back to it because especially nonprofits and whatnot, that's what makes them work, and they do so much work, so many good things for people that people don't even know that are happening. So we all have our own special little areas and whatnot. For me, it's things like Child Development Center. The Nanaimo Child Development Center was big for us. But even all the school-based stuff, we do a lot for them. Nanaimo Area Land Trust. We love to help them out as well.
Well, for sure. When I, in 2022, when I did the Shine event at the Convention Center, I went to you and said, listen, do you want to donate? It's for at-risk youth. And you were like, no problem. What do you want? So I think that's an amazing message to people who are starting businesses to make sure that you give back to your own community and that you're sort of in touch with your community. All right, so the Backyard Wild Bird and Nature Store. I want to break that name down. So backyard. What is backyard art, and what is it that you offer?
Well, the idea of the backyard was literally things that you're going to use in your backyard. right? When I started this, I was sitting there looking in the backyard. What would I want? How do I want it? And that's where that all comes out. The wild bird, that's our main thing. We started up for attracting birds to the backyard. It's a very simple thing to do for people. You can learn so much from the birds. It's cheerful. You actually attract and watch birds in your feeders. If you want to lower your blood pressure, it's been known to help people with that. So you just put a feeder out and watch it. Don't worry about trying to understand or identify birds or anything. Just watch and enjoy. It's very relaxing. And then, of course, it's expanded from there. We do other nature stuff like ladybugs, mason bees, which are now nematodes for the lawns, for the grubs and other things to help just naturally do things.
Nematodes. Not a lot of people know what that means. So let's talk about what are nematodes.
They're a little microorganism that in the soil to get rid of certain soil pests, especially in veggie gardens. You have little bugs that are going to eat into your carrots, your beet, or your root vegetables.
Your fruit trees?
The fruit trees a little bit. They're more rhododendrons. As they're touching the ground, they'll feed on the leaves. People want their perfect leaf. So nematodes will go in and feed on the larvae state of these things so that it controls the grubs, the bugs that are in the yard.
So ladybugs, mason bees.
Yeah.
Okay, you've got it covered. All right, I want to go back to backyard again. So a couple of things that I saw in your store were things like kinetic spinners, decorative flags, solar lights for your water features, right? That's great. The beneficial insects we just covered, bird baths and water accessories. You have a tremendous amount of gorgeous bird baths right in the front window. Yeah. Where do they come from?
They actually come from Victoria and Duncan. They're all made locally here on the island.
I got to say to the audience, your price points are really good too. I can't talk about pricing, but let me say that if you're looking to flourish your backyard with decorative yard art, this is the store to go to. Please go to their website, which is backyard.ca, and there's a whole catalog listing, and you'll be able to see what you have to offer, right? One of the fun things I also thought is that you've got kind of some quirky yard art, like you've got some Sasquatch business going on. You've also got squirrel feeders going on. So what else could we expect with yard art?
Well, we're always looking for something unique and different. So the spinners are one of the things, the solar lights and whatnot and flags. But yeah, the Sasquatch stuff, we all enjoy Sasquatch. So we're really big into that right now, finding that sort of stuff.
I noticed at your counter you had these little tiny Sasquatches.
Yeah, the pocket Sasquatch.
Yeah, those are great. It's Sasquatch to go, right? Yeah. Okay, again, so if the audience is watching, please go to the website, thebackyard.ca. While we're talking here, there's a tremendous amount of photos that are going to be coming up, and we're going to feature some of that yard art. But if you are invited this summer to a garden party, or you want to have Mother's Day or Father's Day, and you know someone that enjoys their backyard, and you feel that you might benefit from that, please go to the store. They've got some great gift ideas. So bird, one of the things about your store is that's a big revenue for you, right? And you sell a tremendous amount of bird seed.
Yes.
Yeah, can you elaborate on that for me?
Well, the seed that we sell is seed that birds actually like to eat. So we're selling the individual seeds. We have our own mixes, 3 mixes that we make up. Our gourmet is sort of our general mix. We have the chip seed, which is a way of feeding the birds without the mess. So we bring in all quality seed. A lot of the seed comes from we have a seed mill we deal with in Taber, Alberta. They grow their own black oil sunflower seed there. Some of the ingredients are also from there. But yeah, it's all that stuff. It's not the old general mix stuff and the mess everywhere.
Okay, well, you mentioned about how, sit back and don't worry about it, just enjoy it. And we had a conversation when I went to visit your store about why is it that the older we get, the more we're into birds, right? Yeah. When my husband and I moved here from the mainland and we were sort of urban guys, it wasn't really on my radar. But I've moved here, and let me tell you, I have been bitten by the bird bug, and I love to sit in my backyard. But I do wonder how I can educate myself on what's the right bird seed for me, and how is it going to benefit my garden. So if someone was interested in that, how would they navigate that?
Well, they can come to the store and chat with us, and we can go over things with them. There's also on our website some Birding 101 under the some articles that I've written in the past, and that'll give people ideas on how to, what seeds to use, how to put feeders out, how to attract certain birds.
And what about when you're dealing with invasive, like let's say mice that are climbing up to your bird feeders, I noticed that you carry suets, and some of them are deterrents, some aren't. How does that work?
So the suets, when we have problems of our four-legged friends, we use the hot pepper. There's a hot pepper suet, and there's even seeds that are coated with a hot pepper. Birds don't have taste buds, or they're unable to taste that hot heat, where our four-legged friends can. Right. So that's what we'll put out to deter them. But I mean, if it's on a shepherd hook, you have squirrel baffles. We have other ways of turning around and deterring these things from even bothering with it. And again, you picking the right type of seed, using something so we don't get mess on the ground that's going to attract them in the first place, is the first place we start.
So how did you survive through COVID? I understand that you had to come up with some creative ideas to keep this moving. And a lot of people during COVID were home a lot, and they were even more invested in their backyard. So I believe you do deliveries as well?
That's right. We during COVID, everybody kind of got stuck at home, and they needed their stuff. So instead of people, we had the odd person who would come in and whatnot, and we'd do the pickup outside and whatnot. But we decided we had a lot of customers up island, south of us as well, who needed stuff. And so we started our free delivery, going out once a week and delivering to our customers all the way up to Courtenay, Comox, and Campbell River even.
And Gabriola too?
And Gabriola, so we go around. So that's what we did during COVID. It was very busy. People loved it. We had a lot of new customers, and people loved it because we were outside and we had a lot of questions about what's this, what's that, and with us being there,
it's
it was
also
easy.
Very charming, right? Like it's old-fashioned service, and because of the senior population here, it's such a benefit, right?
That's it. And we have a lot of local customers here in Nanaimo who we do free delivery. We do free delivery in Nanaimo too for who don't drive anymore. So it's easy for them to get.
So if I want to get delivery, what do I have to do? What are the steps?
You can give us a call at the store. You can order online through the website, or you just email us. But either way, just give us a phone call is an easy way, and we can take care of it from there.
Well, you have a super friendly staff as well. When I'm telling people to go to the store, one of the things I like about the store is that everyone is not only well informed, but everyone's super friendly, super charming, right?
Yeah. And they've been there a while.
Yes. All right. So we've covered your delivery. We've covered food. Let's talk about the bird walks. I noticed on your website that you yourself host bird walks.
Yes.
What's that about?
So it was started actually probably 30 some years ago by another gentleman who had done the bird walks, but then he had to leave. So we took him over about just after we opened. We kept them going. We do these bird walks on Sundays in the Nanaimo area. We start at 9 in the morning. We meet at the store or at the location about 15 minutes later. Go out for 2 or 3 hours. It's just an informal walk. We have some fun. It's no fee. It's free of charge. We just show up if you wish to come out. And usually we go when it's nice. If it's pouring rain, we stay home.
But you can get armed for these. Like again, on the store, on the website, you've got optics, you've got binoculars, you've got bird identification books. So you actually can really educate yourself through your store to be able to be prepared for these bird walks.
Well, that's the fun with the challenge of these bird walks. You don't have to be an expert to come out on these. People who are just getting into it, learning about it, coming out. And the fun of the challenges is identifying that new bird. You see something, identify it, and you get the book there, you get your binoculars to see it better, and that's all part of the fun. It's the challenge of getting out, and it's just a fun thing to do.
One thing I want to go back again, because I forgot to mention, but you also have a tremendous amount of bird houses, and you sell them. You make them.
Yes, well, I used to.
Oh, yeah, okay. Again, Canadian made. Yeah, so you're not making them anymore?
Well, we have 2 local gentlemen. So all our nest boxes, all our cedar stuff, our bird feeders, nest boxes, and that are all made locally, all local lumber too. I did start out building these things when we opened up, but ran out of time. I have a couple of retired gentlemen with needed use for their wood shop. So they helped me out building our bird stuff. And yeah, it's a great thing.
Right on.
It's fun.
Briefly, I did notice, I don't want to go too much into this because there's another category I want to get to, but one thing I noticed were a tremendous amount of bird links on your website. Again, the website is thebackyard.ca. But what's great about it is that when you on those bird links, you touch them and they actually deliver you right to that link. Yeah, so what is that about?
So we always, again, just supporting other other organizations. People who help other people, like people who are looking at our website, expand their knowledge as well on finding things and what's going on. We've got local organizations, North Island Wildlife Recovery and that, for anybody who needs to contact them or find out what's going on. Raptor Center down on Herd Road. And the fun one on there is at the bottom was the Birding Pal. So if you're traveling somewhere else in the world and you want to go do a little birding, the people will put their names on there. You can contact and go birding.
Nice.
And it works great.
Nice, nice, nice. All right, well, the other thing I wanted to talk about, which is a backyard wild bird nature store. I did a category called Nature Store, and what, to me, I love about your store is that there's a tremendous amount of opportunities for people to purchase items for gifts or for their own entertainment that is nature-based. Right? And I want to go through some of these things because I have been bitten by your store. I have a tremendous amount of these things in my house, and they're stunning and they're affordable, and again, they're Canadian made. So you can go to your store and buy gifts that are like cups, coasters, aprons, books, cards, calendars, puzzles. Where does these products come from?
So we have some local suppliers out of Victoria. There's one company down there, and they use island artists and do mugs and different things with their artwork. So that's some of them that we get from there. There's a gentleman who we deal with out of Shawnigan Lake, Rain Coast Photos. He actually, with his photos, has made a bird ID poster, which is great because it's just local island birds. So it's nice that way instead of the posters we usually get for those things that all have blue jays and cardinals on them. So this is all locally done. He makes up all these things. He does very neat cards, Christmas cards. And we have a couple of other artists local who do cards and whatnot for us as well. And other bird houses and feeders made locally as well.
Well, I don't know if there's any more room in my kitchen cupboard for the porcelain cups, but they're stunning. And like I said, there's, cups, coasters, aprons. They also have, which is fun, is things like puzzles and items that you can do stuff together as a family that are nature bird oriented, correct?
That's right. I mean, in the wintertime, we're not always outside, so we're looking for other things to do.
Right.
And the whole idea of, we were talking earlier about what gets you involved with birding and what it is, it's all about time. And that's why when people retire, they sort of take up the birding end of it, because you finally stop and take some time to look and watch, and same with puzzles.
You've also, I noticed that your team and you promote seasonal items, like your window display always changes for Christmas and so on and so forth. And again, if you're watching this show, thebackyard.ca, go to the catalog. There's so many great gift ideas. Summer's coming, weddings are coming, Mother's Day, Father's Day. Like, there's so many gifts to be bought there, and supporting local. I want to talk about your optics binocular cabinet. That's not not everyday item. Can you tell me some of the things that might be in there?
Well, we carry binoculars just for the simple, easy use. They're not your super high-end things or anything, but they're good quality optics, binoculars, spotting scopes, even monoculars that people will use and go out and use, because you don't want something that's not that great and can't quite see through. You want something that's worthwhile.
Of course, if you're going to invest.
And we have that. And then there's even the little gadgets that you can hook your smartphone up and put it on your spotting scope to take photos. So.
Well, there's jewelry. There's it's endless opportunities for gifts, seasonal or regular. Okay, so I noticed on your website there's a blog.
Yes.
What's that about? So
the blog was started for actually the bird reports. So every week we put on there a bird report of what was seen on our latest bird walks, other bird sightings that people have told us about for that week, what's going on where, as well as where our bird walks are going the next week. So it's just that we put that up every week. Other things, we'll put up anything other interesting up there. If there's a herring spawn we hear about or whatever, we'll put it on for people to look at. So it's a quick information. And then there's also another part to it where you can check out old articles that we've written for the past for newspapers and such. So again, more learning.
Right. And so there's the blog, and there's also a newsletter.
Yep, we do a monthly newsletter now.
And so can you register online to get that sent to you, or do you access it through the website?
You can email us and we can add you to the mailing list, or you can go onto our website where it says newsletter, and you can click on and have us add your email there and you'll get our monthly newsletter.
Lots of interaction going on. I love it. All right, so lastly, on your website, there is a section called Tips and Tricks. Some of the categories were bird feeding 101, bird houses and nesting, water, bird facts, sick or injured birds. Can you elaborate on that?
So that's just, again, more information. Somebody has a bird has hit the window. What do I do with this bird?
Right.
I'm putting up, why am I not getting birds at my nest boxes? So that's what the nesting will talk about, how to set it up, what to do for the birds to attract them into the nest box, as the feeders and everything else that's happening around as well. Nice. So just some little information.
Great. So what else would you like to share about your store?
I don't know, it's just been a fun time. It doesn't feel like 30 years. No.
Well, it's a great store. For those that are watching, the Backyard Wild Bird and Nature store, again, is on 6314 Metral Drive, and their hours of operation are Monday to Saturday from 9:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., and they are open Sundays from 12 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. Again, that's info@thebackyard.ca. You can call them directly or you can go on their website. I can't encourage you enough to go. It is a local business. They're carrying Canadian products and they're there to help you understand all things backyard, wild bird, and nature. I want to thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, very much. Hopefully this will give a little traction and get people out to support you, although I feel the community supports you tremendously already.
They do.
Yeah, well, again, thank you for tuning in to Upfront. We'll look forward to seeing you next time.